Alright, all you time-warping graveyard shift racers out there tonight, welcome back to Under the Radar. And this week's Stun of the Week, and yes, I have a little bit of a bias because of it, comes from none other than Shedding Yeti with their stun, Project Pat, and alongside with it, none other than KKR with his stun, EBE. Now, the reason why in the world we picked the first stunt, folks, is a little bit self-explanatory because this guy was able to pull off, for the first time that I've seen, a very successful Sagat Tiger knee to his opponent and come out unscathed on the other side. And the reason why the other stuff was picked by the rest of the staff members is because he suffered an Inspector Gadget level of injuries while trying to jump over a simple barricade onto a roof of a building. What is wrong with that guy? But before we try to figure out what's wrong with that guy, folks, I think it's time for us to get ready to rev our engines and check out what sort of instant classic tracks we can find to kick off this instant classic month for another edition of the GTA Online Top 5 Tracks of the Week. And the first track that we have up, or should I say deathmatch that we have up, comes from the creator Crapatoni, or Crapatoni? Yeah, Crapatoni. Yeah, I thought I said it wrong, but nevertheless, with his said deathmatch, Scarface. And this deathmatch got picked for the track of the week not only because of the fact that it's inside of Tony Montana's mansion itself, but it also includes special carbine rifles that you can use to take out your opponent. And the only tip of advice that I have for you fans out there, just like they would say in Star Wars, is to make sure you have the higher ground against your opponent to take them out. And especially with those carbine rifles that tend to be more accurate than less, you definitely want the high ground or try to hide out in Tony's office. Yeah, unless you get shot in the back like he did in the movie. And spoiler alert for anybody who didn't see Scarface, that's what happened to him. So make sure it doesn't happen to you and watch your back at all times too. And the next track that we have up comes from the creator Nobby Spiffhead, or Spliffhead, either way, still funny and nice name by the way, with their track Panto Turbo Rumble, which is a last man standing map which Maestro corrected me about at the last minute. And either way, folks, this said crazy battle on the bridge that involves not only pantos and even bulldozers to take out your opponents. The only tip of advice we have for you fans out there is to make sure you get a vehicle and quick. Because if you don't, there's a high possibility you will get killed by neither a bulldozer, a panto, or the endless amount of other cars that will come rushing through to take you out. So get a vehicle as soon as possible and you should be fine. And not to mention, the only way you can take out your opponent is with another vehicle since there's no other weapons there. Unless you bring your own, which I suggest you probably do. And the next track, and yes, it's finally a track according to the Maestro, comes from the creators Win Splitta with his said track, Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And this is a spot-on image of the classic Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So congratulations, Wig Splitta. And the reason why we love this track so much is not only because it gives you a chance to use all vehicles across the board on this said track, but it also gives you a chance to use that new weird motorcycle that they have that has that giant oversized engine block inside of the motorcycle that's like a car. Yeah, you get to race those on this track. Nice! And the only tip of advice that we have for you fans out there is to make sure you take your turns carefully during this said map. Because if you got friends like I do who would do a GTA race during this race, they're most likely to put mines on the ground to try to trip you up. Or, proximity bombs on the ground to try to trip you up at any moment. So beware of those and make sure you have bulletproof tires at all times. And it's been a while since we warned people to have bulletproof tires. We need to do that more often. And the next track that I got a feeling you may need bulletproof tires for as well comes from the creator, Caspa HD, nice name by the way, with their said track, Military Base Raid. And this crazy 21 gun salute filled with loop-de-loops like tracks made it in for the tracks of the week because not only do you get a chance to use supercars to try to race your way through it, but also the fact that you don't get shot while doing any of these crazy stunts during this said racetrack. And there's a couple of wall rides, loop-de-loops, and even high jumps that are included in this said track. And did I mention there was loop-de-loops in this track? Either way, folks, the only bit of advice we give to you fans out there is the same as the creator of this map, is that it was tested with T20s, so I suggest you use T20s to get your feel for the track before you use your own vehicles on it. Yeah, best advice we can give. And the last but not least track, or should I say deathmatch that we have for this week, comes from the creator, Temple of Fire, nice name by the way, with his said deathmatch, Runaway 12 RPG Tunnel. And the reason why we picked this, I got a feeling it's because we're a glutton for punishment, because not only it provides the actual tunnels where you have to shoot through these boxcars to try to take out your opponent, but for those who happen to miss their opponent and aim a little bit to the left, let's just say there's a couple of tankers waiting on each side of these trailers to prevent you from hiding against your opponent or missing at all. So the only tip of advice that I have for you fans out there is, and I'm gonna step away from the mic a little bit, give me a second. Run! Run for your life! Don't stand there and get hit with a rocket! Run! And if you do that, you may live to see another day. And with that said, folks, wraps it up for another edition of the GTA Online Top 5 Tracks of the Week. And with that said, we might as well head back into this music one more time. And when we return, we'll be back with the final segment for Under the Radar for this week, right after this. So don't get lost in the madness just yet, folks, and stay tuned.